and welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kate, the Swiftie.
I wasn't ready. I'm not so swift, Sam. I'm ready now.
Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
We do a whole thing, which you guys don't see, where I just like make Sam tell me if he's ready. It's usually, are you ready for it? But today I was just ready.
Ready.
Ready?
Mercury.
We can't do this again.
Can't have Freddie Mercury poisoning.
No. Is this because we talked about tuberculosis?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Typhoid Mary. Typhoid. Taylor's typhoid.
I came across something. I don't remember if it was on TikTok or Instagram. I don't remember which social media I was consuming at the moment. And they were talking about the song The Lakes. And it was an author. And I wasn't paying enough attention as I was doom scrolling to stop and actually pay attention to who the author was or what was happening. But he was talking about how in the song The Lakes, which is a bonus track, which we haven't done yet, Taylor's talking about take me to the lakes where all the poets go to die. And he's like, yeah, that's where they all went when they had typhoid consumption. He's like, is that Taylor? Is Taylor typhoid? And he's like, but Swifties, I love you. I think you do 90% amazing things, but you scare me.
Well, let's look at the underboiled section of this Easter egg. Taylor Corp. It's called Taylor Corp, yeah?
Taylor Nation.
What if she's like an Edison? What if she's like a Steve Jobs and all the creative people are the hidden in the shadows hired by her and she's using so that you're going to die because you're selling your creativeness to Taylor Corp?
See, I think if she hadn't spent the first 4 years of her fame responding to each and every person personally on Tumblr, I might say possible.
On
but
Tumblr?
Yeah. It just, unfortunately, Taylorking was so real. And
Taylorking?
Yeah. She lurks on the socials. She finds you. It's a thing. I know that this seems like I was discussing this with one of my tables, and I'm like, well, yeah, Taylorking, or I said something else, and Easter eggs, and he looks at me and he goes, "This is your language."
Very much is. Very much is.
Yeah.
I'm the translator that really doesn't get the message either way.
You're the translator they bring in on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Kate said that she really enjoyed talking about Taylor. Yes, thank you. Next question.
Well, Taylor's back in the zeitgeist.
She is?
Broke her little Instagram silence. We went 100 days with nothing. No post, no story, no nothing.
100 days sans Taylor.
Yeah, she broke it. She's back. Well,
She's
not really. She popped up. Her bestie, Selena Gomez, dropped an album with her fiance, Benny Blanco.
Benny Blanco.
Yes, Selena and Benny have their... It's actually really good, which I knew it would be. No, I just didn't know what to expect because, fiancés writing an album together. Selena's... It's just... I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. But, it was called I Said I Loved You First. And the first song, I was like, okay, slow, but okay. And then she collabed with Gracie Abrams, Call Me When You Break Up. And I was like, what is happening here? But it's fun. It's definitely got some Easter eggs in it.
So Blanco and Gomez.
Yeah, Blanco actually. So they've been doing a lot of press. So Taylor popped up in her stories and she was like, check out this album. Love it. Or obsessive, I forget what she said. She hyped up the album and she slinked back into her world. But Benny and Selena were out doing a bunch of press for the album. They've kind of been everywhere. You can't really miss them. And somehow Taylor Swift came up. And he goes, yeah, I knew Taylor. I knew her music. But, you date Selena. I'm marrying Selena. He's like, I'm now a Swiftie. I'll be in the car listening to a song from 10 years ago being like, yeah, it's a great song. He's like, Miss Swiftie, it happens. And I was like, Sam, how come your immersion therapy isn't working?
Easy. Hold on a second. What is easy? Relax. Listen, so Taylor has, you would know this probably. She has a strong following on the socials.
Casual following.
Enough so that when she posts something, everyone tunes in.
We've been known to break a couple social media platforms.
Do you think that where Gomez and Blanco have been doing a press junket to try and promote their collaboration together, that one tweet from Tay kind of does all that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it did Remind us all.
Yeah.
You don't follow Selena. I follow Selena. I really like Selena. I like her makeup. I like her music usually. Like I need to watch Only Murders in the Building, which I haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's another good show you have to watch.
At all?
I know.
It's a good show.
I know.
It's got the Martins in it.
And they are funny.
I know.
Come on, dude.
And it's about a podcast.
Yeah, it is.
I know. But yeah.
Think about it. Here you are with a high-strung, washed-up could have been, and a guy who really wants to get the job done. You're literally living in that. We're one murder away from Only Murders in the Building.
And our song is about a murder today.
Oh.
We're not there yet, though. Don't
Okay.
get too excited.
Each and every week we roll the.
No. SZA, our girl SZA, getting ready to go out with Kendrick,
Mm-hmm.
who, collab. He and Taylor talked about some bad blood
Mm-hmm.
on 1989. She was talking about Taylor on the Jennifer Hudson show today.
Oh, yeah?
Or not today, last week. And she goes, Jennifer shows a picture of like SZA and Taylor Swift at the Grammys. And she's like, girl, that's Taylor Swift. Every time she walks up to me or approaches me, I'm just like, all right, this is happening because that's fully Taylor Swift. And, Jennifer Hudson is just so kind. She's like, yeah, but you're SZA. Like, she's like, no, that's Taylor Swift. And then she's talking about how she goes, I think I mentioned I would like to write with her and build some things together. And she was open to it. And she was talking about like Taylor Swift as a songwriter and how like she tells stories and says it was like, I'd really like to be do that with her. And I was like, oh, that could be fun. Little SZA Taylor.
It's funny. I've been trying to sell Kate on White Lotus for a while, which you're getting into. You're crushing
I'm
through
in.
season 2.
Yeah. Technically, I've watched more seasons of White Lotus than you
Oh,
have.
you very much have.
So,
You very much have.
and I'm letting this one, because I need to know. Like, I am letting this one finish, and then I will go binge it in a weekend. And I'll be very happy.
Spoilers, Carrie Coon is in season 3.
Okay.
Fantastic actress.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching an interview with her the other day about how they're like, oh, it must be crazy for you. Like, here you are. You're like, you've been doing so many great projects, everything. And everyone must be running up to you all the time. She's like, no one runs up to me. I could be at the airport and someone look at me and go, can you grab that bag for me real quick? Or like, who's that old lady in the yoga pants or this, that? And everyone else with her is like, I'm sure like that one person that you're locked on to is like, oh, I don't know who you are, ma'am. Everybody else in the room is like, that's the lady from the movie. That's Carrie Coon. That's the woman from the show. No, I don't see that. I bring that up because I feel like her and SZA are in this great, just above. They're in the 1980s upper middle class, right? They're in this section where like you got the work, you're getting these benefits, you're doing great. You're not the highest well-known quantity. And you're not the person still struggling anymore, but you're at this branch where you're making the best work. You're at this moment where like your ego isn't so high that you're bound to fall in a lead balloon. And you're also valuing yourself more and like, but you're not like, I'm the best person there is, period. Because you're always like, well, there's someone better, or this person's great. They're in their own trajectory. They're in their own field. SZA's kind of like at that moment where she's probably going to keep making great things and become even better, but still not inflate the ego. It's kind of deflating a little bit. It's like, no, I'm good. It's not going to like, her self-worth isn't going to plummet.
She's not going to dote you. Self-worth's not at an all-time low.
Yes. But what a great album.
Oh,
Denial.
Love it.
Denial is a river,
Denial
you guys.
is a river. We listen to that like once a shift. Sans customers, obviously.
We listened to Doechii and we listened to Wolves of Glendale.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, which is a song about drunkenly buying a horse and then realizing you have a horse in your New York City apartment that you sold your car for and how you're going to feed it. And then you beat up a cop because you think that's your horse and it's a horse cop. It's a good story.
Great story.
Great moral.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah. It's not really on a Gomez and Benny
you
Blanco.
just like took me down a rabbit hole. Anyway, but Taylor has been seen in public recently.
What?
I know, not really, but like hypothetically, she's a hypothetically, theoretically, she was at that very exclusive Big Sky Club or whatever the Yellowstone Club in Big Sky, Montana, and apparently they were dining with the one Aaron Andrews, sports reporter extraordinaire, who played a little matchmaking help with Taylor and Travis.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So she's buying Yellowstone.
No, I don't think she's buying Yellowstone. It's the Yellowstone Club. It's like an exclusive community for the exclusive.
The more than wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tom Brady has a home there.
Tom Brady.
Taylor's like, ooh, do I want to live here? Do I want to live in Park City? Where do I want to ski? Taylor, we've got mountains here in New Hampshire. You would love Portsmouth. We've got plenty of condos for you to buy.
I mean,
nobody's going to care that you live here either.
It's not. She would spend more time driving to the Portsmouth airport to fly to Rochester to drive up north than it would be to literally just drive up to Rochester. Yeah. She loves to fly in that private plane.
Allegedly.
Legs up, legs down, 7 minutes.
Allegedly. Anyway, so they think there's, a lot of talk that Aaron kind of helped that whole partnership of Travis and Taylor. Because when Travis was on his podcast talking about his friendship bracelet and he couldn't meet Taylor, Erin Andrews popped onto hers and she was like, Taylor, Travis is a really nice guy. I could not co-sign this more. You should meet him. And here we are, years later.
Hey, it's 2025. I don't know if they're both disappointed, but neither one has a ring.
We don't know that.
Well,
Travis has rings. Taylor also has rings.
They don't have the ring.
Yet. That we know of. We don't know that.
The ring. I'm talking about the Motorola ringtone.
Yeah. The ringback tone. Mm-hmm. Well, so speaking of podcasts, Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski have a podcast called Dudes on Dudes. And they somehow, I did not listen to this episode in full disclosure, so I don't know if I have all the facts here because I just didn't get that far today. But they were talking about Taylor and Travis if they had a baby. And they were like, oh, that kid would be so talented. He'd be like playing in the Super Bowl and doing the halftime show. He'd be so smart. He'd probably be like 18-year-old, graduated from college, ready to go into the pros. Like these two guys spent probably like 3 or 4 minutes just like going back and forth about what a Taylor Travis male offspring would be. And it would be like a football player who was also doing the halftime show, who was brilliant, who finished school early. So they got into the league early so they could get out and they could do their music career. They went through this whole thing. And you're just watching these two bros and you're like, what is happening here?
Right. They're building the fantasy offspring. They're essentially playing The Sims, which is how I keep trying to tell everybody. This is D&D. This is Dungeons and Dragons in a nutshell. It's fantasy creating a person. That's all it is. And then you get to go and make them graduate early from college at be young Sheldon or whatever. Like, this is what you got to do, guys.
And play in the Super Bowl and perform the Super Bowl halftime show at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, just like.
Dudes on Dudes. Don't Google that. Dudes on Dudes.
Games with No Names is Julian's podcast. Games with Names.
Games with No Names.
Games with Names is Julian's podcast. And now they do this together and they bring in different sports people and they talk about it. And they're funny. I get their clips a lot. But I did not see this coming. It was not on my bingo card for this week.
Build your Taylor Swift baby.
It's like, okay, guys. Look at you yapping away about Taylor. Speaking of unexpected sources yapping about Taylor Swift, Michael Caine's new book came out.
Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm. And it was a book of interviews. People interviewed Michael. And he brought up Taylor Swift. And he was talking about stardom. And he goes, I think Taylor Swift is incredible. She's a giant star. She was once a country singer to start. And now she fills stadiums all over the world. And he's talking about her stardom and what that means and how that's changed over the years. And I have read an excerpt of it. I have not had a chance to read the book because this came out hours ago. But I was like, wow, even Michael Caine is like, whew, see this Taylor Swift?
Well, look at Michael Caine's career.
I know. When you're impressing somebody like Michael Caine, that's got to be a real meta moment. What? Do you think she gets her updates from Tree Payne, her publicist, and she's like, so SZA wants to write with you and Michael Caine thinks you're a superstar.
Well,
and these two jabronis on a podcast.
Yeah. Well, think about it, man. She's doing a show. She's got the Italian job. She's doing the Italian job, doing a show in Italy. And they're like, you're doing the stadium. You're probably going to blow the roof off of it. And he's going, you are only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. it's a stretch, but I needed to shoehorn that Michael Caine quote into this very specific joke.
You were very excited to do the
Especially about
accent,
stardom.
too.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, maybe we should just move right into the song.
We're going to take a pause while Kate murders me, and we're going to listen to No Body, No Crime. Is that what we're...
I have to murder you after the episode.
Oh, okay.
You don't get to not listen to the song first.
Okay.
You're not getting off that easy, partner.
No sweet release.
We're going to hit pause. You hit pause. And we're listening to No Body, No Crime off Evermore, track 6. We'll be right back. Well, Sam.
Esther!
She's a friend of mine. We met every Tuesday at the Olive Garden for a glass of wine.
Esty?
Esty.
Estabella?
Esty Ham.
Esty Ham.
Haim.
Esty Haim?
Esty Ham.
Esty Haim's dead?
Well,
Fiction of the story.
in this universe, yes.
Esty.
Esty.
My bestie Esty?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that I had just heard, like, oh, that's the most fictitious name I've ever heard in my life. Watching, what's it called? Uptown Girls the other day. There was Ing. Hey, Ing. Ing. Ing was short for Ingrid. Este short for...
Esty is her name.
Este's the actual name.
Yeah, Esty, Elena, and Danielle Haim.
You would think that this would be the
Sisters.
one detail that took me entirely out of the song. And that wasn't. What was the one detail, Kate?
Olive Garden?
Nope.
Life insurance.
Nope.
What was it?
She was with me, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Everything
I
else
watched
in that,
that. I was like, oh, there he goes.
it was like, okay,
And
yeah,
it's
like,
like a
I'm
little
getting
balloon.
it. I'm getting it. She was with me, dude. Why?
Why not?
You're
Your microfixation on things never ceases to amaze me.
why try to tell a riveting thriller of a poppy country western kind of rock and rolly true crime podcast and a music
You always
and then insert a
you always
a
say she
throwaway-
doesn't include the artists that she features enough.
okay.
And here she is including them,
Who
and
is-
now it's not good enough.
Who was that? Who was
It
that?
was one of the sisters.
One of the Haims?
Yeah.
Wasn't Corey Haim.
No, we just went through the names.
Was it Esta?
No.
Esty?
Esty.
St. Saint.
I should have practiced this with you for like
No,
the
no,
whole
no, no,
drive
no. We're doing
over.
it live. This is such... It's a good song.
It's a great song.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
It's a good song.
It's a great
Easy. All right.
Jason.
It's a pretty good song.
Meets in the middle. True producer. It's very interesting that this is on Evermore.
Evermore. It's her
Evermore.
storytelling album.
It's a storytelling album. This is a fake story, or this is a inspired by Unsolved Mysteries story.
So, as one does.
She murdered someone.
Well,
Allegedly.
During the lockdown, Taylor was listening to murder podcasts, watching Dateline. As one does. I actually had to stop doing that during the lockdown.
She's listening to How to Get Away with Murder, and she's like, I did that one.
My favorite murder. Yeah. And she's like, you know what? That could be a fun song. So she wrote it. And she goes, I need a character. Like, who's my character going to be? And she knew that Esty Haim would be thrilled. Esty. Now you've got me doing it.
Esty.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a pet at you. I might even feel bad when it hits you. And she's my friend that would be like psyched to be a part of it. So she texted her and she goes like, what chain restaurant would you prefer? And she gave her a couple to pick from, and she picked Olive Garden. Could you imagine being like the marketing person for Olive Garden? And you're like, oh, Taylor Swift has a new album out. Okay. And then you're like, wait a minute. She name drops Olive Garden?
Could you imagine it'd be Tuesday night at Taco Bell?
Could be.
Could be.
They don't serve wine there regularly, so I don't know what
Tuesday night at Massimo's. A little bit tighter. Olive Garden.
you know. The Rosa. But like now,
We are murdering these prices here at the Martingale Wharf. Come on in Tuesday nights.
for a glass of wine
Glass of wine and a little.
and a boat,
These dishes are best served
you
cold.
can say you were with me. I was listening to this and preparing for it this week, and I'm also in the midst of watching the HBO like docuseries about the Karen Reed trial,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, it kind of like makes me laugh thinking that Taylor's also probably like hyper fixated on some of these things, like the Lacey Peterson documentaries, or is she also watching this Karen Reed thing unfold? Like, she's not on tour. She's not. She's got some time. Like, what is she hyper fixated on in the pop culture? Like, is she here being like, Karen Reed was framed? Or is that like just super niche New England? Like, what's happening here? Like, Taylor, are you like, what's your current favorite murder?
Who's to say? When it's big sky season, you can see all those stars coming in.
I know. And, you never know what you'll find out there.
So this is COVID.
Mm-hmm.
She's writing it during COVID. Is she doing when she's recording it with the HAIMs? Like, is it like remote recording?
Yeah. So she recorded. So she wrote the song. She sent it to Aaron Dessner, and he was like, "Oh, okay." And so he like helped her build it up. And she goes, "I want to feature the HAIM sisters," and he's like, "Sounds great." So Taylor was recording with him at the Long Pond Studios, and the sisters were at their studio in LA, and they did it together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge HAIM fan. They opened for her in the 1989 tour, and they were incredible. They've got a new album out. It's incredible. Or they're getting ready to put a new album out. They have a single out, which I'm a big fan of. So like, I was pumped. I love their friendship. I love their collaboration. They've collaborated a couple times. So I was like, ooh, what are they up to?
It's interesting that this is a late runner in the catalog of Taylor Swift, because this does feel like it feels reminiscent of early days. However, it's such a pointed, specific, well done kind of Taylor song. But
you heard him say well done.
It feels like this is more like this should have been on Red.
I don't think. No, I don't. I think it wouldn't have.
I know it's storytelling. I know that the cottage cores are very.
Yeah, but like I think with like her earlier, first of all, there's no way like a younger Taylor could have sold this.
Yeah. 17-year-old murder in her eyes, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, like I don't think there wasn't. I don't think the culture was there.
The Taz Devil. You don't think she could have done it?
I don't think she's too sweet. I don't think we were in that like My Favorite Murder podcast.
Wouldn't that have been the perfect alibi? She's too sweet.
Yeah, well. She got a boating license when she was 16. She's fine.
15 in the story.
Look at him correcting me.
No, I got my notes. It's called lyrics.
I think that it was very much just like the right time for her to do it. I think if she'd done it any earlier, it would have been like she's trying to be the Dixie Chicks with Goodbye Earl. Like she's, like she would have been like, it would have been tossed aside. It would have been hokey. It wouldn't have been like. It wouldn't have worked. And I think now that she's doing it, it wasn't even like, this isn't a song that a lot of people like go back to in the discography. Like, it's not something you're like, oh, my favorite song is No Body, No Crime. But when you hear it, you're like, yeah, it's a good one. Like, it's not, it's a little, we'd like to say, Taylor loves folklore. Evermore, she kind of,
So the Eras tour?
She did perform this because HAIM was on the Eras tour with her,
right?
In the West Coast, Seattle.
So she did this show a couple times. This song, a couple
with
times.
them. So like when I saw Taylor, Phoebe Bridgers was opening for her, and so she brought Phoebe out, and they did Nothing New. So when HAIM was with her, she brought them out, and they did.
So that's
No Body, No Crime, which had to have been phenomenal.
I don't want to go super tangential with this, but when it comes to, we had secret songs, we had the piano songs, we had the acoustic songs. She also had specific songs, like collab songs with the artists that were opening for her. Kind of, sort of.
Just with Phoebe and HAIM.
Just with Phoebe and HAIM. Okay, so very specific.
Like Hayley Williams was opening for her in Europe. They didn't do Castles Crumbling.
Is there like, I'm gonna guess, really good fanfare for those like specific shows?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was, it's just these little things where you're like, I was at the Rainiest Rain show. I saw Phoebe and Taylor do Nothing New. I saw Taylor and HAIM do No Body, No Crime the day she announced 1989 Taylor's version. Like, there's those, like, those zeitgeist moments in the Eras tour, the differentiating moments. But then she would bring people out, like, she brought Sabrina Carpenter out when she wasn't opening for her, and they did Please, 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 and Espresso. she brought Gracie out. They did
Lost.
Us.
Oh, I thought they were doing the theme song from Lost.
When Sabrina's set or Gracie's sets got canceled or like pushed off because of rain, Taylor brought them out, but it wasn't like in the set list. This is what we're doing, except for Phoebe and Haim.
Missed opportunity. Your rained out show. Your rain show. She should have done an umbrella. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was magic.
This is such a great formulaic song that really looking at the lyrics really helps sell the point of this, of it being there's trouble in someone else's relationship, there's trouble. Mm-hmm. That's someone else's Merlot on his lips. That's someone else's jewelry on our joint account. I don't know. I think he's doing something, but I just can't prove it. Mm-hmm. Moving to that person is now Esty. Where's Esty? Esty? Where's my bestie Esty? Esty's not at the Olive Garden or at her job, not the Olive Garden, different location, or anywhere. Something's going on, but he's moving on. He's taking Instagram photos with somebody else. They're moving in.
New tires,
New tires in that truck. That life insurance policy must have really been cashing in. And now, you know what we should do? Let's get rid of him and frame her. And I was with her, dude.
She just took out a life insurance policy. Now this guy's missing. It couldn't have been us. It's with her sister.
Yeah, man. It's very much it's a nice full circle of revenge.
Yeah.
The anti-hero's journey, one might say.
Well, like I think this song walked so vigilante shit could run.
Well, think about it too. Compare vigilante shit with this song. It's very different instrumental, stripped down in vigilante. In this one, production, like especially if you're going with you're recording in two different parts of the world at the same time, not just because of like time constraints, but because of like we have certain parameters going on. We really can't be in the same buildings with each other.
Yeah, COVID.
And having it be it's like, okay, we're recording this part here. You're recording this part here. You're listening for the clicks. We're doing this stuff. It's very much isolated, and yet it has to feel like it's not. It has to feel like you're in the same room when it's happening.
Which is where, I mean, they've been friends for decades. They've collaborated. Like, who knows what's out there that they've done together that we will never see. So I think that's why things like that worked for them, because they know each other well. They've been really close friends for a very long time. They've played music together. They've performed together. They've done concerts together. Like, they know the idiosyncrasies, so they're able to have that like working relationship.
Yeah, but it's got like that. It's got a great outlaw country feel. Mm-hmm. It's got like the baritone to bass almost of the acoustic guitars and everything. Like the fiddle, even like that. It's not high and dancey. It's there to set the tone, and like it's a dark enough beat that it carries a tune you could dance to. Probably dance on someone's grave to it. And then you go to Vigilante, and that's very stripped down. It's very
Vigilante's not stripped down.
What? I'm thinking Cat's Eye.
Yeah, is your cat eye sharp enough to kill a man?
Boom, boom. Yeah, I'd say that's very different.
I would say it's very different production-wise. It's like a more bombastic. Like this is more like outlaw country. And
I'm saying you're going from all these instruments to just like a synth and a electric drum and a
I think stripped down means different things to us. But yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Look, it's been a long time since I've gone to the Strip Down Things Club. I don't remember how it's supposed to happen. Using the wrong words over here. It's a very different feel. It feels more organic with this than it does with Vigilante. Vigilante feels like very produced.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say that's true. Yeah. Vigilante is very like, it's very Midnights. This is very Evermore.
This walks so that could run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it's the storytelling, it's the revenge, it's the like.
Well, think about this too, and you've been a proponent of this, and the Silent Partner's been a proponent of this, like this being a fictitious story, whereas Vigilante is kind of like, ooh, is it? because
Yeah.
we've talked about that and the theories that aren't really theories,
Who could say?
the theorems that become factums.
Mm-hmm. I think, it's interesting to see the through lines where, like, it's interesting to, like, if COVID hadn't happened, what Taylor's music would have been. Like, when you're home and you're isolated and you're alone and you just have to, like, keep yourself entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, like, the storytelling and the, like, well, there's nothing really going on in my life, so I can't draw from that.
I guess I could make another banana bread or
Drink another bottle of wine and pretend I'm in a, forest, an enchanted forest, and write these songs. And so, like, it's interesting to wonder if that hadn't have happened, if we'd gotten Lover wasn't universally loved.
mm-hmm.
It's growing on people now, but it's interesting to see what would have happened if she hadn't had that moment to step back and to do it, and the world hadn't been looking for something like that. Like, it just kind of was lightning in a bottle for her.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, like, she worked hard, she made a lot of things happen, but sometimes the stars do align and the right place at the right time and the right inspiration reignited.
The bubble that was COVID
Mm-hmm.
did so many terrible things, and yet for a lot of artists made their careers.
Mm-hmm. Bo Burnham.
Mm-hmm. Bo Burnham, a bunch of people that had just like a little bit of an internet following at a time.
Noah Kahn.
Everyone was doing audiobooks. Everything started just blowing up.
Everyone was on TikTok. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was kind of that necessity. And I mean, like, look at this recording process. You needed that connection. You need somebody else. You need your partner. I need to feature this person. You got to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah. I think it's been interesting. And I think, while COVID was tough and really, like, as you said, had a lot of things that weren't so great, to watch what's come from it has been really interesting. The good, the bad, the creative. And now here we are. Because I don't know necessarily if we would have had Tortured Poets.
No.
Without
No way.
Folklore and Evermore.
No, those two helped her really tap into something that she brought forth more. She tied into Midnights. And then this is kind of like well, I've done that now. This is where I am.
The storytelling, the folksy, the building, the Aaron Dessner collaborations. It's been really interesting to see that grow.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think we should grow to now? Actually, so we didn't do the question of the week this week because we got a suggestion of the week.
That's not a question. It's a suggestion.
Yeah. So we were talking about how we are rapidly working through the discography.
Yep.
And I was like, what? Don't me. We're going back. So we're going to start all over again. And one of our followers suggested that we do a collab, one of the Taylor collab songs that we haven't done yet.
Yeah, let's bring Taylor on board. We'll collab with her. We'll do a Taylor Swift Taylor podcast.
I'll let you text her.
I'll text her. Yeah.
And they mentioned Renegade that she did with Aaron Dessner's group,
Mm-hmm.
Big Red Machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured maybe we could go from what we did today, which was an Aaron Dessner produced song, to like her song with him, where she's featured on it. A feature to feature.
Amen.
What do you think?
The gig is up. The music's out. You finally found me. The Renegade who had it made. There's chicks all around me.
Anyway, so next week we're going to do Renegade.
Sure.
Which should be so fun.
Yeah.
You've heard it.
Yeah, the Eagles. The jig is up. The music's on. Yeah. Let's do Renegade.
Not by the Eagles.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We'll do a collab with Taylor. Taylor's being featured on someone else's song.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You love a feature.
Double features are my favorite.
Actual features? We could do Snow on the Beach featuring Marlana.
Nope, done that. We did that. Didn't we do that? I'm pretty sure we did that.
I think we did it. All right, so if you haven't already, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, rate, review. If you're listening on Spotify, check us out on YouTube. If you're checking us out on YouTube, Thank you.
Yeah, listen to us on Spotify while you're watching us on YouTube. Or, if you prefer, watch us on YouTube while you're listening to us on Spotify. Or Apple Music or Pandora or wherever you can find this.
Tell all of your friends.
Yeah. Tell all your friends.
Tell people you aren't friends with yet.
Let's get a real viral phenomenon going on. Let's bring it back to 2020.
Sam will do a dance if you guys get us up there.
Probably, yeah.
Thanks again for listening. Oh, happy 18th birthday, Abigail.
Hey, happy birthday, Abigail.
I know you're not watching, but
You're listening.
You could say.
Who could say?
Thank you all for listening. We're going to be back next week with Renegade with Big Red Machine. I'm Kate the Swiftie.
And I'm here until there's no body, but there may not be a crime. Not so Swift Sam.
I did get a boating license.
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
I'm the anchor on this boat.
We'll see you next week.
Means I'm
Yeah.
weighing us down.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting lost in the current.
I followed. Your ADD is strong today.
Thank you.
Yeah.